Big shout out to Tuscaloosa Ford for allowing me to shoot this vehicle. If you want this Mustang or if you're looking for any other Ford vehicle, hit them up, ask for my guy Jay Spates, and they'll get with you. Thanks again. Enjoy the review. Welcome to the channel. And today I got with me the 2024 Mustang GT Premium, fitted in Vapor Blue with the bronze appearance package. And most importantly, this model does have the performance pack. Today we're going to find out if this 2024 Mustang GT is actually an all new 7th generation as Ford claims, or is it just a mild refresh? All right, so we're gonna start this review with what's probably the most controversial part of the entire Mustang lineup, and that is the looks. So here at the front end, you're greeted with this all new front fascia, this new gloss black grille with nostrils on each side. And this one, like I said before, has the bronze appearance package. So instead of the, like you get on the night package, you get a black pony and you get black headlights. Again, this is the bronze appearance package. So you get the bronze pony here, which is more so like a brush look versus like a gloss look. It looks pretty good. And then obviously, like I said, with the headlights, you don't get the black light headlights on the inside like you do on the night package. Instead, you get the chrome trim around each headlight, but I still think it looks pretty good all together. Down below, you also have which is actually more of a matte black here on the bottom lower portion of the grille. And then this lip here is a, matte black, kind of carbon-esque look. I think it looks pretty good. It's not too low of a splitter. I think it looks pretty good. And then here on the bumper, you have your grille insert cutouts here. This one is a full pass-through cutout fitted in matte black. And then on this side, which a lot of people complain about, is that this grille over here is actually blocked off, and I'm not really sure why, but it would be nice to see that be a little, a bit more functional. Instead of being a fake vent. Enough of fake vents here in 2023, 2024. At the top of the hood here, you have a hood vent finished in gloss black that is a functional heat extractor to let that Coyote breathe, that new Coyote, which we will be checking out here in a little. But yeah, overall, I think the front fascia is a welcome introduction to this new Mustang. I really like it. I think early on I was a bit nervous about it, but in person, man, it really looks the part. All right, guys, so let's talk about this new Gen 4 Coyote. So the Gen 4 Coyote obviously has the new dual throttle body setup, the new dual intake setup, and man, it looks really, really, really good. And obviously is making more power than the previous gens. This year, when you have the active exhaust equipped, it makes 486 horsepower at 7,250 RPM and 415 pounds-feet of torque at 4,900 RPM. And that's if you're running 93 octane fuel. So definitely making more power than the previous gens. And when you put your foot down, you definitely can tell. It's really, 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 really nice. So the new Gen 4 Coyote is a great engine, great looking, great sounding. I love what they did with the new intake cover. It looks a lot better, I think, than the S550s, which looks kind of, I don't know, weird. But with the new dual intake setup, man, it looks really, really clean. And when you get some aftermarket stuff in there, it's probably going to look even nicer. All right, so here at the side profile of the 2024 GT. So if you look at this side profile of the car, you'll notice that it does really resemble the S550, the last generation Mustang. And to me, that's not really a bad thing. I really love the S550 generation. I owned one myself, a 2017 in Grabber Blue. But yeah, I really think the side profile of this car looks really good. They've changed up, a couple things, but more or less it's, the same shape and same style. Here on the front left fender, you have your 5.0 badge. And again, this is the bronze appearance package. So the 5.0 is finished in bronze as well as these performance pack wheels. So these performance pack wheels are finished in bronze, as I said, and they are wrapped in a 255 Pirelli P0 tire. Behind them is a 15.4-inch rotor, 6-piston in the front, and 4-piston in the rear. The rear tires are 275 in width, and overall, I really, really like the snowflake design. I think it looks really good. I prefer it in black. I think the black looks really good on pretty much all the paint colors. But again, this bronze is really growing on me. I don't think it looks bad, and it's something that I would consider. And if you really consider it, definitely see it in person. 100% it looks even better in person. So if you like it here, you'll like it in person. All right, so here at the back of the 2024 GT. When Ford first released this car, to be honest, I did not like the back. I thought it was extremely funny looking. I wasn't sold on the design. I was like, you know, I love the front, but the back might ruin it for me. I wasn't really sure. I was a skeptic, to say the least. But the more I saw the pictures, the more it began to grow on me. And when I saw it in person for the first time, I was blown away. I thought it looked really, really good. I feel like I feel like in a lot of pictures, the back end looks really, I don't know, long and kind of odd looking, maybe stretched out. But man, here in person, it does not feel the same. It looks way better than it does in pictures. It shows well, the angles, everything, the way it's cut looks really, really good. So if you have any doubts about, you know, the way the car looks, you're gonna have to see it in person. I promise you, it looks, it looks really, 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 really good. But again, so about the back. So obviously the tail lights are a lot different. You have this really sharp cut here on the trunk and the deck lid area, and the lights cut right into that. But you still got your tri-bar that's still sequential, just like on the S550. But it looked really, really good. And then coming around here, you have your GT badge again. Here, this is the bronze appearance package. So your GT is finished in a bronze colorway, and tucked inside of the GT, you have the words performance. You got your rear view camera hidden here in the trunk, and then you got this new wing. I actually really, really like this new wing. Very reminiscent of the S550 Performance Pack 2, but definitely has a bit more curves and aggression to it. I think it looks really, really good. Here at the diffuser, this is another part that I felt like, you know, when they first released the car, I wasn't quite sure how I felt about it. I felt like it was a lot of black plastic. It was a really big piece that really didn't, you know, complement the car very well. But again, seeing it in person, I don't feel the same way. It really looks a lot better in person. It has a really nice look to it. And this one is outfitted with the quad tip exhaust, meaning this car does have the performance pack, active exhaust, excuse me, this car does have the active exhaust. And when I tell you this exhaust sounds really, really good, let's take a listen. So yeah, guys, as you can see, this exhaust sounds really, really, really good. To be honest, man, on my 2017, I did a muffler delete. That was one of the first modifications I did to the car. But if you get the active exhaust in this car, you may not need to do an exhaust modification at all. The track mode is really, really loud in person, especially when you're standing behind the car. And to be able to put it in quiet, you know, if you don't want to wake the neighbors up, or when it bounces off the rev limiter, the crackles, the pops, they all sound really, really good. So I promise you, this is a great, great addition to this car. I would say that if you get a GT, regardless if you get like a premium or if you get a base GT, please get the active exhaust. Do yourself a favor, get the active exhaust. You will not regret it. It is a great, great feature to have. It sounds incredible, and it looks really good. Getting down inside the 2024 Mustang GT, solid door slam. Once you're in, man, I'm gonna tell you, it is a really, really nice place to be. It's pretty familiar if you have ever driven or been in a S550 generation, but honestly, man, it looks so much better. You see a lot of similarities. If you look at the door panels here, you still see you have the same kind of grab handle. The door handles are the same. The switches, A lot of those switches are the same, you know, all carryover parts. This one here is equipped with the 10-speed, so you have the 10-speed automatic transmission. And then, of course, you have the new drift brake or e-brake as well. Like if it's in the manual, it acts as also your e-brake. It's really, really cool. But again, getting inside here, man, it looks really, really good. The steering wheel is a lot more beefier, and the flat bottom design, it looks good. I love the new carbon fiber look here on the door panels. I think it's a great accent. It looks smooth. It looks clean. The vent style here is really nice. And then obviously the big ticket item here is the new screens on the dash, the new displays. Many people you know, really complained about these screens. They said they really didn't like them. To be quite honest, I really, really like the screens. I really, really like the interior overall. And I say that because, you know, I know that people were upset about not having the dual brow setup. Like, you know, that's really, really a tradition of the Mustang for years. But honestly, I was ready for something new. You know, I know about the Mustang tradition and the Mustang heritage. But man, I really wanted the interior to be brought into, you know, the 21st century. I really wanted some more tech. To really get inside. And that's what Ford said they wanted to do. They also wanted to reach a younger buyer here with this car. And I mean, me, I'm 28. I consider myself young, but I love it. I love all the tech. I love it. Has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, wireless. You have a charging pad here in the dash. And then you have your engine start stop. You have a Mustang button that takes you straight to the Mustang apps. You have a favorites button that you can program to use for whatever you want. This whole panel down here looks really nice. Again, it's pretty good. Um, but yeah, man, being inside this interior, man, it looks really nice. You have about the same amount of storage as usual with your map pockets. The cup holders here, the armrest again is, you know, pretty much the same kind of carryover deal from the S550 generation. But again, it looks really nice. They did really good with the materials and the redesign of the vents. You have USB-C and USB-A, and then the 12-volt charger here. So all in all, man, it looks really, really, really good. I really like it. I know some don't again, but I really like it. So let's dive into these screens. So I really, really like this system. I think it's really, really nice. Again, I think it really brings everything up to the times. And so for me, you know, I really enjoy using it. I think my one gripe is I really wish they would have left the AC controls as physical buttons. The AC controls are here, and they're always here at the bottom of the screen. So, you know, they're always in a convenient place, so to speak. But sometimes the startup time of the screen could be really slow. Here in Alabama in the summertime, it's hot. It's hot right now, so if you hear the AC blowing, I'm sorry, I ain't trying to burn up in here. But it's hot in Alabama. It's hot in the summertime. So a lot of times I want to get in and adjust my AC right away. I don't want to have to wait. And sometimes when you start this up, the screens can be a bit on the slow side, and you do have to kind of, you know, wait for it to all kind of get up and get going to turn your AC and adjust it the way you need to. And that can be kind of annoying. So I do wish they would have left the AC controls as physical buttons, but I digress. I do appreciate the fact that they put them at the home row and that they're always there no matter what screen you're on. That's always a bonus. So that was definitely, I guess, the least they can do in that area. Here, but peeking around here in these gauges. So again, you can switch modes here. You got your drive mode selected here on the steering wheel. And right now we're in normal mode. So if you click the mode, you're going to get this animation. So it's got your normal mode. You switch it over to sport. So you go from normal mode to sport. You got your track mode, drag strip, and the animations, man, they look really, really, really cool. Slippery. And then you have your custom mode. And then back around here to a normal mode. So again, the animations look really, really nice, really, really high quality. They look really, really good. And again, I think it's a great addition. I think it's a nice, you know, a nice little piece to add to, you know, make it stand out, make it a little bit different. All right, so now over here on this screen, you have a couple of different things you can do on this side. So you got your track apps here, which, you know, got the acceleration timer, brake performance, a lap timer. The drift brake and line lock features are included here as well. If you go to and then the cluster style as well. And then backing out, here you got all the different colors you can go through for the my colors for the ambient lighting in the system. So that's really cool. And then here at the very bottom is the cluster theme. Right now, it is in track. You can switch it to match your drive modes here. You click it to normal. On this side, you'll see it swap over to normal. But again, you know, you got your different ones. You have sport, which I think looks pretty cool. Track, calm, which, you know, takes everything away, gives you, you know, a less stuff on the screen if you don't like it all. And then obviously here, the big talk of the town is the Fox body gauges. So here you got your Fox body gauges, 87 to 93. This actually holds a pretty special place for me because I currently own a 1988 Fox body. So having these gauges, you know, be something that you can do with this screen, I thought was a really, really dope touch. I'm glad Ford did it. Kudos to them. I'm hoping that maybe with the over-the-air updates, maybe they can add in some more custom gauges to be able to modify them here and there or some different themes or what have you. But I think having the Fox body gauges is obviously really, really cool. I think it's a dope touch. Some people think it's gimmicky, but you know, that's fine by me. I enjoy a car that has personality on both inside and out, and then with the engine. All right, so enough talking. It is time to finally put this thing on the road, and let's see what she can do. So you know, this course here, I have not yet driven this car. I've never actually driven a 10-speed S550 or S650 for that matter. I actually have never driven, I don't actually think I've ever driven an automatic Mustang ever. So this will be a real-time, real live first impressions drive of not only just the car itself, but the 10-speed transmission. All right, guys, so here we are on the road, and I can already tell you this thing, it sounds really good. So yeah, on the road, man, I haven't been able to drive this car yet, so this is my first time, and this steering wheel, it feels really, 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 really good. I like how beefy it is. I like the grip. The new flat bottom is everything. It feels really, really sports car in here, man. Already I can tell. So I'm gonna put the car in sport mode. We'll see how she get on. Let's give this thing a little gas. Yeah, it really bangs those shifts off. We're gonna take it, we're gonna go on some back roads and see what a couple curves does for this car. So down through these turns, man, it really feels good. The handling is a lot better. It feels totally different from the S550. So my S550 wasn't a performance pack. It was just a base model, but even at that, yet and still, man, it feels really, really good. The steering is very direct. I see a lot of reviews that say, you know, it does feel a bit dead, that you don't get a lot of feedback through the wheel. I would agree with that. You don't really feel much of the road, but it is very precise. You point it in the direction, there's very little effort. You point it where you want it to go, and it goes there, man. And it just, I mean, it feels good. And that V8, that V8 sounds wicked. We're gonna get on a bit of a more open stretch and see if we can really open up and let it bang through the gears. But man, on these curvy roads here, it feels really good. I got a speed table coming up, so we'll take it a bit slow. All right, so again, we're in sport mode. We're gonna turn on this road here and maybe let it eat a little bit. The brakes work. I'm sorry I don't have a whole lot to say. This is, I'm gonna be honest, man, this is a great experience. I haven't gotten to drive one of these, and it's been a while since I've been behind the wheel of a modern Mustang, but man, it moves. This new 5-liter V8 with the twin intakes, man, it sounds the business, it looks the business, and this thing moves in and moves out. You put your foot down, it hooks and goes. We're gonna put it in track mode to see if we get any more response out of this throttle. And when it bangs off those gears, it really does. It sounds great. Wise, man, ride quality as we switch, I'm going to switch back into, I was going to sport mode. So ride quality, it feels really, really good. It soaks up the bumps really nice. I got the ventilated seats going. It's a great ride. You know, this car is meant to be, you know, kind of a do-it-all car. From the track to the street, it's meant to be comfortable. It's meant to feel good, and it does exactly that. And it's just really a fun experience, man. It does not disappoint in the least bit. Again, like this new steering wheel, you feel like you're really holding on to this thing, like you're really in control, and I love that about it. But again, it is a really great car. So on the downshifts, man, you get a couple of snaps, you get a couple pops, man. That active exhaust, it is in track mode. It sounds the business. And this 10-speed, like it's no time in between those shifts. It rips gears off and it just pulls. It does not stop pulling. This thing is an animal in its own right. Again, being in this interior, visibility over the dash is really good. Over the hood is really good. Mustangs are known for having a really long nose. This one is no different. The nose is long on this as well, but I can see perfectly fine. The screens, they don't reflect like some people feared that they might. They aren't distracting by any means. Once you sit down and behind the seat and you sit behind it for a while, the screens, they really disappear. So if you really were worried about the screens being too much of a distraction, I promise you have nothing to worry about. But yeah, the screens, you hardly notice them once you're driving, once you're in it, man. And once you're really focused on you and the road, it's like they aren't even there. So to be able to be that, have that much duality, so to speak, that the screens can be there, have all the technology that you need, that you want at the touch of a fingertip, but then disappear when you really just want to focus on you and the road. The 10-speed or the manual, whichever one you have, and that exhaust system, when you put your foot down, the last thing you worry about is the screen. So I promise you, you have nothing to worry about when it comes to the dash. Seats are comfortable. These are not the optional Recaros. You can get Recaro seats option on these. I haven't yet tried the Recaros, but to be honest, I'm a wider guy. I'm not a small guy. To me, these seats here are really comfortable. They have decent lateral grip, but they are heated and ventilated. And I want that in my car. I think I'm a bit spoiled. I would want the heated and the ventilated seats. If you get the optional Recaros, you don't get those options. The seats are not heated or ventilated, so that is something to note. But if you want the more racy seats or you want the full experience, then for sure, go ahead, get those Recaros. But for me, I definitely stick with these standard seats. I think they are a lot better. The steering is definitely more sharp than the S550. 100% is not even close. And that exhaust, it sounds, again, that exhaust sounds so good. Going over the bumps, it seems to handle them really nice. This road is not the smoothest, as you can probably tell by the camera, but man, this thing, you don't need a lot of input to point it to where you want it to go. Like, you give the wheel a little input and that nose moves right where you want it to. And it feels good, it feels stable. It is definitely a fun drive. You can tell this road is not smooth, but I mean, this car is really sucking up the bumps. The performance pack is definitely the way to go in my opinion. Here, and we'll let her eat one more time. Oh my goodness. So the big question is this car all new or is it a refresh? To be honest, man, I think that really depends on who you ask. There's a lot of subtle changes in here. I would say that a lot of the things are more or less the same. But again, there's a lot of changes in here that really do, as a package, make this car feel a lot different, from the looks to the feel. Like, when I compare this to my S550, this feels like a new car to me. This feels different. I feel like it has more road presence. It sounds better. It drives better. It handles better. It looks better. It's better really in every way than the S550. So if you ask me, is it a new generation? I'm more inclined to say yes. I think I would consider this a new generation. But if someone's to say they think it's just a major refresh, I probably wouldn't argue with them either. You know, regardless, this is a really, really fun car. I am planning on getting one. Hopefully, I can get mine here soon. But until then, I have to continue with these reviews, and maybe we'll get another base, or when the Dark Horse comes, we'll see about getting a Dark Horse. So a huge thanks to Tuscaloosa Ford. Shout out to my guy Jay for giving me this opportunity to review this car for you guys. I really hope you liked this review. If you did, please give it a like, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys later.